Ricken Financial presents Kickin' with the Rickens, redefining retirement. Gerry Ricken and Heidi Ricken Provost want to help you reach the retirement you deserve. Let's build a strategy that gives you the confidence while meeting your financial wants and needs. Meet the team at rickenfinancial.com. Now, Kickin' with the Rickens.
Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening to Kickin' with the Rickens podcast. We are here with retirement planner Heidi Ricken Provost and licensed insurance professional Gerry Ricken. My name is Mark Owens. We invite you to get more at rickenfinancial.com. You can get all the information here in the show notes. Thanks again for subscribing. Now, let's get to the show. Income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. How do you help adults?
Can you say that one more time, Mark?
Income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement.
Truer words have not been spoken. Truer words have not been spoken.
How do you help adults build and preserve that income?
Well, you know, I realized that early on, a lot of years ago, when my dad retired at the age of 56 from working at the fire department. Willie and Dolores, they were hardworking people. Dad was a dairy farmer that became a firefighter, and then Mom was a stay-at-home mom with 6 kids until my little sister Ann got to be school age. Then she went to work, and she eventually became a cleaning lady for a large industrial tractor company in Wichita, Kansas. They both retired with Social Security, 2 streams of Social Security, and 2 pension plans. Let me just repeat that.
They had more income in retirement than they did in their working years.
They certainly did. And that was amazing because they didn't earn a whole lot. You know, I'll never forget in 1976, my graduating year from high school, they were so excited because that was the first year that combined they had $20,000 gross income in their working year. So they didn't have a whole lot of income, but they made it work. And they raised 6 kids who are functioning adults in society. At least I think I am. So
You made the joke I was getting ready to make. It's like we
I
spend
beat you
enough
to the
time
punch.
together.
Can you tell we work together a lot?
Yep.
But the most important thing they had was guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. And they were all indexed to cost of living adjustments. So as things progressed and got more expensive, their income went up. And I thought, man, this is the best thing you could possibly do for people. So what we do is we develop those income plans now for people because people aren't blessed with pension plans. If it sounds like you'd like to have guaranteed income in retirement and make sure that all of your expenses are covered by your income and replacing that paycheck, because when you walk out that door and close the door for the last time, the paycheck stops. Right. Let's repeat that. The paycheck stops. We want to replace that paycheck with a paycheck and do it in the most tax efficient way too. So if it sounds like you'd like to have that replaced paycheck in retirement, please reach out to us at 314-207-6211 for a complimentary consultation. We can show you an efficient way to get that guaranteed income for life.
And you may be sitting here thinking, okay, well, I know how to replace my income in retirement. You turn on Social Security or I have a pension or whatever it may be.
A 401k, right? And that's it.
Yeah,
that's all
exactly.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of us think we probably do have the answer for what that income is going to look like. And a lot of us turn on that income and then in the future don't even realize that what you're doing may not have been the most tax efficient means of how to pull that income in, or even just the best means from which account that's making what percentages of how much you should be pulling out of each account in your retirement years too. So,
because Joe retired last year and he said it worked for him.
Yeah, exactly. So many people come in and they say, so-and-so in my life.
My brother-in-law,
I'm telling you, this guy I worked with told me it would be a dumb idea to wait till age 70 to take my Social Security. Great. Has that guy you worked with done a financial plan to see how Social Security fits into your financial future?
Does he understand how Social Security works and how it can increase each and every year?
And have you seen that plan that he put together? Have you put your own eyes on it?
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, that is a huge question we get. When do I even take Social Security? That's like the $1 million question nowadays. And you know what? Honestly, it could cost $1 million to your family if you take it at the wrong point in time. And you need to look at everything.
And that's in today's dollars.
Yeah, exactly. You need to look at every single component holistically. And when you're making the decision, when do I draw my Social Security retirement income? You can't just do it on your life alone. You got to do it from a family perspective too. And that's just one stream of income, but you may not even know what other streams of income are available for you. Do you have a pension plan at work? Is the pension plan itself financially sound? And are you going to be quote unquote guaranteed to get that payment? You're never really honestly guaranteed to get anything. But, is it financially sound? Is that something you could potentially rely on in your financial future? Do you need to reutilize those assets somewhere that could give you a little bit more income? There are
Could you take a partial lump sum from your pension and pay off debts?
Yeah.
Then use the rest of it as a guaranteed income? There are all kinds of opportunities.
Yeah, even just have a nest egg of some sort there. There are so many opportunities available for you for income in your financial future that it's honestly a lot to just kind of DIY. But if you want some advice on how to replace your paycheck so that when you're in your retirement years, it feels like you're still getting a paycheck like you were in your working years, we'd love to put the plan together for you, kind of peel back the onion and say, hey, if you're looking at these different accounts in your portfolio, here's what you should draw from first from a tax efficient means. Here's the kind of income you could have coming off of here. Social Security probably fits best in your plan here. If you want some advice like that, we'd love to help you out by giving us a buzz at 314-207-6211 or head over to rickenfinancial.com, RICKEN. Look us up on social media, whatever you want to do. I always joke you can send a carrier pigeon to me. I live in U City. If you want to send a carrier pigeon my way, I am here however it takes to get in touch with us. We want to make sure that you have a plan in place for the future so that, you don't have as much stress leading into retirement, because that's honestly some of the most stressful points in time in your life when you go from having what you believe to be a guaranteed paycheck while you're working, because we know it might hit every 2 weeks, or once a month, whatever the case may be, to when you're no longer working. Where does my income come from to cover it all?
Right.
So,
And it shouldn't be a guessing game at that point in time. You should know exactly where it's coming from and exactly what the tax implications are of those decision-making processes.
And that's why you probably should talk to us about the purpose approach, because that's what we do when we take the purpose approach for planning for your financial future. We look at everything that could benefit you in and out from your financial future. So how much money is going to come in? What form is it going to come in? What do your Social Security benefits look like? What does that pension look like? What are the assets that you've saved for your financial future? How is tax going to be an implication for you in your financial future?
Repeat that, please, because taxation is one of the biggest things we need to focus on.
Yeah, and if you pull from this account first versus this account versus that account, and what stream of income you're pulling in to cover your expenses, are you doing the most tax efficient stream for you in your future? Or are you making a decision that might cost more tax to you and your family in the future? We want to make sure you have that, right.
Right.
Do you have enough life insurance? Do you need life insurance? Do you want it for living benefits or for death benefits? Do you have some form of coverage for long-term care? What does your estate plan look like? All of that, you should be able to make some decisions with purpose for how it's going to fit into your financial future. But it's a lot to do DIY. It's a lot to do on your own. And, you might have an advisor who simply manages the risk in your portfolio, but doesn't put that all together. If you want a second opinion of someone who can help you put it all together and make sure that everything is working cohesively, that's really where we come in. So here at Ricken Financial, we take the purpose approach to all of the plans that we do for prospects and clients alike. And we do so complimentary because we want to make sure you have a plan in place for your future. So if you want to take advantage of that, please just give us a call at 314-207-6211, because you deserve to have, a retirement with purpose so you can just simply enjoy it.
And not only purpose in your life, but purpose in every decision you're making. We purposefully look at everything from a tax perspective. And we want to make sure that you understand what you're going to pay now, but more importantly, what you're going to pay when the paychecks aren't coming in the future in taxation, because we want you to make sure that you're leaving the right amount to your beneficiaries, and your beneficiaries isn't the three letters called the IRS.
Yeah, and you can purposefully choose how much
that money to and
how much money you pay in tax if you do some planning properly. Otherwise, if you're just sitting here in April and you look at the rear view mirror, you can't really do much to change anything about your taxation. But if you take a forward thinking approach, you can purposefully choose how much tax you're going to pay in the future, and you can actually plan that out.
The only constant in the tax law is change. So we keep up on those changes. Every time there is a change, we're constantly getting information. So we want to make sure that you have that information at your fingertips as well. So call us at 314-207-6211 to just have that conversation about what the future looks like.
We always talk about here on Kicking with the Rickens the importance of building buckets in retirement. Your income bucket, your tax bucket, the vacation buckets, the spoil the grandkids bucket. But do you also build the long-term care, the medical bucket, if you will?
Absolutely, Mark. You need to provide for any kind of thing that happens out there. And one of the buckets that we work on is emergency fund bucket. You have emergency funds while you're working, but in retirement, you also want to have emergency funds. You have emergency funds while you're working to replace your income in the event that you get downsized or what have you. But you also need to have an emergency fund bucket to help cover long-term care coverage, because some of those plans that you may have out there don't kick in right away. They don't pay for the first couple of months, maybe the first 3 months. So you have to have an income bucket that has emergency funds in it to help offset any expenses that are going to occur before your long-term care insurance kicks in. So that's one thing you need to have in a bucket. But you also, the bigger bucket there is making sure that you have a plan for health care.
Yeah.
Whether that is just normal health care or whether that is long-term care. So no matter what, you have to have that plan.
You mentioned something at the beginning of the show that I think is worth repeating, and it's the importance of the power of attorney in situations like that. Will you repeat that again for somebody that's maybe just checking into the show this weekend?
Absolutely. You have two different kinds of powers of attorney. One of them is financial. The other one is healthcare. In the event that you are incapacitated or you want someone else to be able to make decisions for you or at least get information on your behalf, you want to have a healthcare power of attorney, because if you have a stroke, if you are in a car accident, anything can happen to any of us at any point in time. And if you're 18 years or over, you should have a healthcare power of attorney and have someone else designated as your person to go to make your decisions and to help make those decisions. Equally as important is a financial power of attorney. Financial power of attorney says who can access my checkbook, who can access my bank accounts, who can access my investment accounts. All of those things financially are wrapped up in the power of attorney for finances. And one of the things we offer here is providing both of those documents to people who come through our doors, and we provide those complimentary. Even if you don't go through an entire estate planning documentation with us, we will provide those two free of charge at Ricken Financial at 314-207-6211. So if you've saved at least $500,000 or more for your retirement life, come to see us and get those two documents, because those documents are probably the most two powerful documents you can ever have in your lifetime.
What is the first thing that adults need to do right now to prepare for the unexpected, the speed bumps, medical expenses, and long-term care in retirement?
The first thing they need to do is just take a look at what they've done from an estate planning perspective and have they've completed those financial and healthcare powers of attorney, because that step is crucial for anyone out there listening right now. If you're 18 years or older, you need to have those in play. The other thing you need to do is say, okay, what do I want this to look like? If I need long-term care, if I need some assistance, I can't do two of my activities of daily living, or if I have cognitive decline. When you look at that and you say, okay, what if that happens to me? How do I want to be cared for? What kind of care do I want? Some of these programs with life insurance, you can spend down your death benefit while you're alive to care for or pay for your long-term care expenses. One of the most powerful instruments inside those plans is a concierge service. And the concierge service says you just reach out to the concierge. It's much like you're talking to a concierge at a hotel saying, hey, where's the best restaurants in town? It's the concierge service will say, okay, what kind of care do you want? What kind of facility do you want to be in? What is your budget? They'll do all the groundwork. They will look at all the facilities around your area. They will come back to you and say, this one provides this. Here are the services they provide. Let's contrast that to this one. And they'll give you a menu to select from. And one of the most frustrating things for a lot of people is not knowing where to start. Here, you only have to start with 1-800 number, and you have your own personal concierge doing all that work for you. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please reach out to us at 314-207-6211. If you've saved at least $500,000 for retirement, we'd love to have that conversation and see if one of those plans would fit into your overall scheme and how to help and preserve those assets so that you don't have to come out of pocket and try to spend down and qualify for Medicaid and be impoverished and really live the life of dignity that you want to live with long-term care when you have to have those long-term care assistance.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Ricken Financial LLC. Ricken Financial LLC is also an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through Impact Partnership Wealth LLC, a registered investment advisor. IPW does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Ricken Financial LLC are not subject to investment advisor requirements. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Ricken Financial LLC is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Ricken Financial LLC.
Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA.
Tax preparation and tax advisory services are offered through Ricken Financial. These services are not offered by IPW and are not subject to investment advisor requirements. These services referenced are an outside business activity not offered through or supervised by IPW.